Welcome, everyone, to the March edition of Conversations with Archbishop Kurtz. Welcome, Archbishop.
Well, good to be with you, Brian. It's great to be in March.
I can't believe what March was a year ago, and what a year it's been.
I know, exactly. And here we are really in the midst of Lent.
Yeah.
And I hope getting better at the way we're responding to COVID, keeping people safe, but also continuing to serve others in the name of Christ. So,
it's great to be with you in this. We have a great show as always. We have three segments. But first, we're going to talk to get us started around this Lenten theme we're in, because every year the Holy Father releases a Lenten message. We're going to talk about that. Then we have a special guest, as usual. You're going to interview a wonderful lay volunteer, Teresa Riggs, in segment 2. And in the third segment, we have an opportunity to talk a little bit about you, because this month, don't tell anybody, you're celebrating 49 years as a priest.
Absolutely.
So we're going to talk about that. But let's start first. 2021, besides many other things, is the year of St. Joseph, and we're in Lent. So let's start with those two topics.
Yeah, I'll say just a word about the year of St. Joseph, Brian. I hope people already know this, that actually on December 8th of last year, our Holy Father declared this to be the year of St. Joseph.
Okay.
It's 150 years since our Holy Father at that time, Pius IX, declared St. Joseph as patron of the Universal Church. So it's the 150th year, it's December to December, and we're going to look at March 19th, the middle of this month, as a chance at the cathedral and with other activities in celebrating and acknowledging the year of St. Joseph. In a sense, I think I ask people to keep their eye on the record, because there'll be special activities that will unfold now, but they will be for the entire year.
Sure.
Our Holy Father did a beautiful pastoral reflection on St. Joseph, so I'll be writing about that too.
And we have great St. Joseph churches in our archdiocese.
Absolutely.
And our present and our first bishops are named Joseph. So Joseph's a part of it. But many people forget that Joseph is the patron of this diocese.
That's exactly right.
We focus so much on our Blessed Mother, of course, because of the cathedral. But St. Joseph is our patron.
Yeah. So it's going to be exciting. And the middle of this month will be a great time for us to celebrate that.
Well, let's turn now to our Holy Father's Lenten message.
Yeah. He always gives a great message. He talks about this year renewing the theological virtues of faith, hope, and charity. And it's really, I really commend his letter to everybody. It's short enough, and I think it's really written well.
Maybe we could explore each of those. That could be 3 segments of their own show.
Yeah.
But faith, hope, and charity, or faith, hope, and love. Tell us, let's start with faith.
Well, I think with faith, our Holy Father has a very interesting perspective, because he talks, first of all, about witnessing to the gift of faith. So it's both, as he says in here, accept the truth of Christ and then witness to that truth. So it's not just a passive acceptance, but it's actually a witnessing to the truth. It's interesting because he said that he links the gift of faith up with the tradition of fasting. And he said, when we fast, we kind of pull away from the things that distract us. Consumerism and all the things that fill our lives. He doesn't use this, but you ever hear that expression, TMI, too much information?
Yes.
People say, TMI, too much information for me. Well, in some ways, our whole head is full of too much information. So he's saying, look at the time of fasting for these 40 days as a chance to pull back and see the truth of our faith as something to accept and to witness to. It's almost like putting a spotlight on the gift of our faith.
Almost as a cleansing first, to open up some possibility.
Yeah, that's actually a good way to say it. That's exactly right.
The second theme, as you mentioned, is hope. I know hope's a whole part of your identity in many ways. Your Episcopal theme is hope in the Lord.
Hope in the Lord. Yeah.
So, Holy Father, shared hope.
Well, and let me build on what you just said about cleansing, because he basically uses the example of the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman at the well, and he talks about living water. And so there's this notion that hope has a cleansing nature. It has a renewing nature to it, the way living water would. And so our Holy Father says, he has a beautiful quote, by the way. He says at some point, encounter the tender love of the Father. So hope has a way of uncovering in the worst situations of our lives that in the midst of that, we can find the Father's tender love. And that fills us with a sense of hope for the future, but also a sense of encouragement during the season of Lent.
Hope is certainly something we've needed in the last 12 months more than anything else.
Yeah, people are getting discouraged. I think they're getting cabin fever. They're starting to say, oh my gosh, how long is this going to last? But I do think there's a sense of renewal that we need within the season of Lent. And the words he gives on hope confirms that.
The third theme, love. You know, I think half of the weddings in our church use 1 Corinthians of faith, hope, and love. The Holy Father doesn't go there; he goes somewhere else with. Tell us about how he talks about love.
Yeah, well, he talks about charity, or as you said, love, and he has a very beautiful expression. He says, "Love rejoices in seeing others grow." Yeah. And you know, I can still remember a number of years now, about 13 years ago, when we did the pastoral letter on marriage. We asked grandparents, what's your biggest joy? This is something good for you to be asked, I would imagine. And they said, we love to watch our children grow. We love to watch them grow. So he said that love, as he says, quote, rejoices in seeing others grow. There's an outward notion to it. There's a sense of engagement in the life of other people. And so the gift of love or charity is not a gift to be selfishly possessed, but actually it moves us out of ourselves almost to discover what's already happening around us and to rejoice in the growth in others. I think it's a beautiful expression.
As you mentioned, so I'm going to pick up with that. As a grandparent, you're absolutely right. Each time I get to see my grandson Sam, I notice first his growth, and that's what starts with the joy. Look what he can do now.
Yeah.
So a little selfish there, story.
Your expression, when you talk about your grandson, your expression changes.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And I think attending to our family during the days of Lent does just that. So thank you, Brian.
Well, thank you, Archbishop. These are great reflections. Once again, our Holy Father's given us a great gift, and thanks for opening that up for us. Thank you for being part of this first segment of March. We'll be back in just a moment with the second segment.